There are hundreds of libraries out there for materials and textures, so let's look at the good ones. From PBR texturalized shaders, stylized shaders, procedural materials, texture editors, and more. Let's begin with Porter's Touch. This one is just about pottery. It's not really a library you'll need for day-to-day projects, but if you're going for a realistic pottery look, this might be the quickest way to achieve it. The textures are 8K, and they come with a powerful shader that helps you really nail the exact look you're going for, without too much tweaking. Moving on to Sanctus Liquid Works, another library focused on just one area of materials, this time fluids. These kinds of specialized libraries are usually better than general libraries that try to cover everything, because they can focus purely on quality and on achieving the correct look of a specific material, rather than spreading themselves too thin. Another one worth mentioning is Procedural Dynamic Paint. You won't find anything else like this. It's not just a shader, it's basically a fluid simulation inside a shader. You won't find a tutorial or a course teaching you how to build something like this from scratch. So if you want this kind of effect, you either get the add-on or spend a serious amount of time building it yourself. This can be a great effect for visual effects, like a character morphing into another, think Mystique in X-Men, or any movie with a shapeshifter. It's a really well done effect. It's not a simple linear wipe. When you layer these together, you can get a very Hollywood-level transition that feels organic and complex. Another great material library is Woolly Tools. At first, this looks like something you'd only use in very specific projects, but it's actually useful in many areas because wool materials are everywhere. Throw this material on any object in a close-up shot, and the whole scene instantly feels more detailed and tactile. These aren't just shaders. They're shaders built on top of geometry nodes generators, so you get detail at both the geometry level and the surface level. The generators work well with animations and deforming objects, and there are several types to fit different scenes. As you can see from other artists using the library, there are many ways to use Woolly Tools beyond the obvious. Another library I really love is the Kamikaze Toon Shaders and Asset Pack. This one is mostly for stylized renders, which is a growing niche. It feels like almost every cartoon or animation now leans into this style. Arcane, Spider-Verse, Invincible, solo leveling, and more. Even regular animation is starting to mix in 2D, stylized effects. Continuing in the NPR direction is Clay Dough. This is a collection of generators and shaders for clay. We already looked at Porter's Touch, which also deals with clay, but the main difference here is that Clay Dough is built for stylized renders. It's perfect for creating a stop-motion animation look. The clay effect can be randomized every frame, giving you that natural stop-motion feel where objects subtly change each frame. If that's the look you're going for, this is a great library to have. Shaders alone may not always tell the full story you want. You can layer textures on top of whatever materials or shaders you're already using to add extra detail and variation. Texture Folders is an add-on that helps you collect all your texture folders in one place inside Blender. You can search textures, import them, create masks from them, use them as decals, or even generate full PBR materials with just a few clicks. It's a neat, practical tool for day-to-day work. The best shaders are the ones that work together with geometry to create a more realistic result. Materials are never just surface detail, they're surfaces shaped by their environment over time. No other add-on shows this better than Surface Peel. It recreates the effect of old paint peeling off a wall, breaking it into clusters that look like they're barely holding on. This is detail you simply can't get from surface shaders, bump maps, or normal maps alone. The geometry needs to interact with light, casting shadows, catching highlights, and adding depth in ways flat shaders never can. That's why this tool uses geometry nodes to create dried, flaking paint at the geometry level. You'll probably use it more than you expect. Add it subtly to a few spots on different walls, and it becomes that quiet detail that really enriches a scene. Surface imperfections are what separate a brand new object straight off the assembly line from one that's been in the world for a while. And even assembly line products aren't perfect. Look close enough and you'll still find scratches, smudges, and grime. The Realistic Surface Touch library is built exactly for this. It comes with over 200 textures focused purely on surface detail. Smudges, grunge, dirt, fingerprints, handprints, scratches, coffee mug stains, scuffs, footprints, and more. And yeah, it's 200 plus textures, so chances are whatever detail you're looking for is already in there. Details like these are everywhere in the real world, which means you'll end up using way more of these textures than you expect. Layer them subtly across your materials, and suddenly your scenes stop looking clean and start feeling realistic, lived in, and believable. Next up is the Procedural Fluid Simulator. This is a collection of 2D, texture-based fluid simulation tools. These aren't full volumetric fluids, but surface-level effects, things like turbulent flow, particles drifting across surfaces, and animated fluid patterns. You can use it to create waterfalls, wakes behind boats, surface ripples, and similar effects, all with far more control, much faster results than traditional fluid simulations. It's a great option when you want convincing motion and detail without paying the heavy cost of full simulations. Global Skin focuses on one of the hardest materials to get right, skin. Instead of relying purely on flat textures, it gives you layered skin shaders designed to react properly to light with subtle variation, breakup, and depth. It's built to handle things like pores, redness, roughness variation, and secondary details that sell realism, especially in close-ups. You can't overlook the power of a solid PBR library, and this one is exceptional. With over 5,000 texture assets, it's hard to imagine a material you won't find here. Metals, plastics, wood, concrete, fabrics, asphalt, each with multiple variations, all easy to browse, import, and manage from one place inside Blender. And if you want something procedural with more control, no one really does it like the Sanctus material library. You get water shaders, broken tiles, decal details, wood patterns, metals, and concrete with procedural geometry detail. All of these shaders are backed by Geometry Node's tools to push the detail further, adding real depth where it matters, along with chips, damage, and where you'd expect in the real world. You can take this even further with Sanctus Viz, which is basically a DLC for the Sanctus library, focused on ArchViz. It's pretty much everything an architect using Blender would need, and it's not just shaders and materials. It also comes with procedural tools, tile generators, wall generators, roof generators, and more, so you're not only shading surfaces, you're actually building them in a smarter, more flexible way. Going out into open waters, we have physical open waters. This add-on makes creating large bodies of water surprisingly easy. This isn't the usual flat plane with a noise texture pretending to be water. This is detail from the surface all the way down to the depth. You can move the camera above the ocean or dive straight into it, and the detail holds up exactly as you'd expect. Caustics, floating particles, bubbles, a proper waterline, white water, wakes, and more all work together to sell the effect. That level of realism is why this add-on was used in the animated movie Flow to bring its ocean scenes to life. Textures and shaders work best when they're mixed with cavity, ambient occlusion, curvature maps, and masks. And that's where Matte Plus really shines. It makes adding wear and tear to objects extremely easy without overcomplicating the process. It's also layer-based, so you can move things around, stack effects, and fine-tune the look until it feels right. On top of that, it comes with its own library of materials, textures, masks, and grunge maps, which helps simplify and speed up your entire texturing workflow. Finally, you can skip most of the manual texturing and shader work and opt for an AI workflow with tools like AI Material Factory. This add-on uses images and text prompts to generate textures for your objects. Give it a UV unwrapped mesh, describe the object and its material properties, and within seconds, you'll get a usable PBR-based material.